we go. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your good old boy JR coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, it is a pleasure to talk to you guys on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon. It is episode 4 of the 2024 NFL mock draft. We are moving along here. Today, it is all about Arizona. The Cardinals are on the clock. Just a recap of how everything is going. I selected Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Jaden Daniels. Brandon has selected Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., and Marvin Jr. So that is our first 3 picks so far kicking off this draft. Today, it is episode number 4. We are kicking off with Arizona, and there he is, the man of the hour. Brandon, how are we doing today? I am doing good. So just a little reminder, if you want to catch this episode on our YouTube page, it is on Jack's Wild Sports Show. And then on Instagram Live, it is All Sports Talk Podcast. Brandon, we're here, man. Arizona, number 4. Some people are calling it, this is where the draft really starts now. What they can do, I think, majority of people really believe that the first 3 picks are going to be quarterback, which it could happen. It could happen. We just don't know which quarterbacks it could be. But, a lot of people are saying this is where the draft starts, Arizona at 4. What do? Do they double dip on offensive line to pair out with Paris Johnson Jr. from last year? Do they get a playmaker? Do they get a defensive player since they missed out on Will Anderson last year after trading with the Houston Texans? What do they do? What is the scenario for the Arizona Cardinals? But before we even get to that point, let's talk about their season. You ready to rock and roll? All right. So, man, it seems like a lot of these teams went 4-13. Anyway, after finishing 4-13, yeah, I know. It's weird. After finishing 4-13th and dead last in the tough NFC West, having the 24th best offense and the 31st defense, the Arizona Cardinals are now going to be picking here at number 4, and this has come after the first year of Jonathan Gannon, former defensive coordinator of Philadelphia. He is now the head coach of Arizona, and his first year ended at 4-13, which we kind of knew they were going to be a bad team because of many reasons. 1, no talent. 2, Kyler Murray was hurt. 3, you got rid of DeAndre. So basically, we kind of figured that Arizona is a possibility to be picking. Yeah, whatever talent you did have, you traded him away. You traded Isaiah Simmons for a 7th round pick. It's just, oh man, Arizona just did everything they can. And then, it's just, when you looked at Arizona, and then obviously the first clip that pops up for the news, fans are like, okay, new era in Arizona. How are we going to get this going? Your head coach comes out and says, how did you guys get here today? Who drove? Who rode a bike? Who walked? Now, at the time, I got to tell you, man, thank God Sean McDermott had a press conference. Because if Sean McDermott did not have a press conference, that would have been the funniest thing, the soundbite I would have heard all year. And you know which bite I'm talking about. You know which one I'm talking about. And the look on their faces when he asked that question, they just looked around like, I'm like, how do you think I freaking got here, man? It was putrid. It was terrible. It was pretty rough, man. Like, damn near. Like, damn near. But then, Week 3 happened. Week 3 happened, folks. There was a week 3. They had to face Goliath of a team, back-to-back shutouts, They scored 90 points in 2 games. Arizona has damn near given up just as much as that in the first 2 games. And, there's just no way that it was literally the David versus the Goliath. That's what it felt like. And sure enough, little David won. Little David won. They did, man. They laid it on them. And you guys can figure out who was Arizona's week 3 opponent. You can figure that out. I got a show to do. All right? I got stuff to do. And then it was also the fact that what about them Cardinals? Because I just did not want to believe that was week 3. I'm like, you know how many people lost? That would be the most Dallas thing ever. Sure enough, it was the most Dallas thing ever. And then on top of that, you also had one problem in Arizona. Kyler Murray. He was hurt. Now, there was a lot of speculation going throughout the year that is Jonathan Gannon going to try to get his guy, or did he take the job because he wants to work with Kyler Murray, right? Well, we don't have to figure that anymore. Jonathan Gannon has come out multiple times and said, we're going to ride with one. We're going to ride with one. And sure enough, they did. Because he came back halfway through the season, and he still led the team in passing yards, which shows you. Now, here's the crazy thing. They did have a certain quarterback on the roster, and they traded him away. But it's okay. It's okay, folks. It's okay. So Kyler Murray ended up being the team passing leader, 1,799 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 244 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And James Conner, being James Conner, the crafty veteran that he is, 1,040 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns. And their best weapon was a Trey McBride, the tight end, 81 receptions, 825 yards, 3 touchdowns. That was their best offensive weapon. I know. Tight end leading the ways, man. I'm telling you. That's just the way it goes, I guess. Now, obviously, we knew that there was going to be a project defensively for Jonathan Gannon because we already knew that the Cardinals defense, well, let's face it, they don't really have anybody. Sure, they tried. Let's give them that. They tried. Isaiah Simmons, Collins, the linebacker from Tulsa. So God bless them, they try. It just wasn't enough. It's just not enough, Kazir White, we all know that name. Sure tackler, led the team with 90 combined tackles. BJ Ojulari and Victor Numukidi. Now, I will say this. At least with BJ Ojulari, there's hope, right? There's a little hope there. I mean, sure, they only got 4 sacks, but you know what? There's a little hope there. There's something to work there with. And then Jalen Thompson, the safety, with 4 interceptions. So, God bless them, they tried. And Jonathan Gannon knew that this was going to be a work in progress. Because, let's face it, you took the Arizona Cardinals job knowing damn well all your money is tied up to one player and you have to go from there. Brandon, talk to me, man. Talk to me. What do you think about Arizona? Like, give me your honest grade. Forget the record, because we can look at the record and we can give them an F. But I will say this, as a defense for Jonathan Gannon, halfway through the season, at the end of the year, they tried. And they looked like pieces were starting to come together. They were starting to feel like winners. Sure, it didn't look like it on the scoreboard, but they started playing tougher down the road. Brandon, your honest evaluation of Jonathan Gannon, his first year as head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, listen, man. I know I say that on a scoreboard, but they look like they fought their asses off. I will give them that. They did fight their asses off. Yeah, in the draft. Yeah. How concerned are you that Stephon Diggs is not here? I am very concerned that he's not here right now. Like, you want to know what the first stages of a mental breakdown look like? Look off Sean McDermott press conference. Like, that's the first stages of a mental breakdown. I don't think he has the mental incapacity to handle that right now. I think Stephon Diggs has to stay for another year just for the well-being of Sean McDermott. Like, just for his well-being. I am terrified. Yeah, right. There you go. Yeah, unlike Houston, they kept them. Well, let's hold on. To be fair, is there another defensive tackle like Aaron Donald on the planet right now? Like, listen, no disrespect to Dexter Lawrence, no disrespect to Chris Jones. You'll be great. Like, understand this. It took Chris Jones and Dexter Lawrence to get their footing. This man walked into the league and became the best defensive tackle in the fucking planet. You know, like, don't believe me? His rookie year, won Defensive Player of the Year. Second year, Defensive Player of the Year. Third year, first team. For a long time, he was first team. So in perspective, yes, Dexter Lawrence, Chris Jones, you guys are amazing defensive tackles. Will they be a good team? Now, I will say this. I do feel bad for the defensive tackle rookie for the Rams because it's like, okay, kid, it's all on you. Huh? Do you understand? Like, I got all this free space because Aaron Donald was playing, right? You don't think offensive lines next year that see the Rams on their schedule, they're like, all right, we don't have to send 3 guys at 99. Yay! We can actually block. Like, yay, we don't have to do chip blocks with the tight end and running back and 3 offensive linemen at the same time. Yay! Yeah. Oh, 100%. Keep building, obviously. Because you don't know. Can, because people are talking about the NFL. Like, can the 49ers fall? Are the Rams going to be good? Can the Seahawks bounce back? There's a lot of ifs, right? So we don't know. Like we won't know until the season starts. So who's to say that Arizona gets lucky and it's like, oh, look at that, they look great. I don't know. Um, I will say this for Jonathan Gannon though, and to offense to him, he didn't really have a lot to work with. Like let's be completely honest. Like let's be completely honest. Marquise Brown was never going to be the answer for Arizona. That was a terrible replacement for DeAndre Hopkins. Like that was like that's going from like a Hummer, a Mercedes Hummer to like a Fiat or something. Like that's a terrible replacement. Like a Kia Soul. Like, and then Rondell Moore just never was able to like get it. It was never able to get it. And I think Jonathan, and good on Jonathan Gannon to catch it, to be like, you know what, it's just not going to work. Let's just And the same thing I said about a bunch of teams. You know, this is as clear as a sheet paper. And I think the ownership of Arizona knew that. I think that coaching staff of Arizona knew that it's going to be a rebuild, that it's going to be time, that it's going to be a process to get this team going. Now, the one move I am surprised about, well, it's not that I'm surprised. It's just it kind of sucks because I understand it, but I think it was just crappy timing, and that was DJ Humphries. Because now you get now. I mean, the good thing is Paris Johnson Jr. Like we talked about him last year, he is a versatile offensive lineman. He has started everywhere in college, minus center. So it's something out with DJ Humphries. I don't know. That's just something that that's not here nor there. Um, and like I said, good for him. Good for him. Like Kansas City, like the Kansas City wide receiver room got better. Statistically, it got better. Like as sad as that sounds. So Andy Reid will figure it out. Getting Desmond Ritter, I think I agree with you in a sense that I think it is a good move, and I think it should help Ritter himself because I think this is the type of offense that he could flourish. I mean, obviously, he has to know he is the backup. He doesn't have to be the guy. But the crazy thing is, he starts. So, God backup is he's got some starter experience, and I think he could flourish with this type of offense that Jonathan Gannon is trying to run. Now I will say this hard. So from top to bottom, it's a wow. It's a wow. You know, you really got to fix this. Like this is a wow. So obviously Justin Jones, from Chicago, he's now coming. Great pickup. Jonah Williams, long time offensive lineman for Cincinnati. He's now Bill Nichols. He's now coming to be that 1-2 punch. Yeah, with Justin Jones. Mac Wilson, who was with New England last year. Hey, there you go. Now he's coming to help you guys out here. Chris Tonga, a great rotational piece defensive line wise. That's a great pickup. And then DJ Dallas, running back, former running back from Seattle. He's now heading to Arizona, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. We see it all the time. We see it all the time. Players going to the ops. It happens. Yeah, he's so dead. He's so dead to everybody in Seattle. God, I never got yo, they were really serious about that when it came to Patrick Queen. You're dead to me. Like, whoa. Oh, the comments, dude, those are brutal. I'm like, when I saw the comments on the Saquon Barkley video, I'm just like, hey, my guy, it's just a game. Don't take it so. My guy, it's just a game. Don't take it serious. Like my guy, it's all right. Like you would have thought Saquon killed somebody or something. Like god damn. But that's not here nor there. The Giants are almost up. The Giants are almost up. So let's give them a couple days before we get into it. But I will say this: free agency wise for Arizona, you know what? I like it. I like it. Yeah, it's not the big names that I thought Arizona was going to go for, but you can actually build. Like this is actually a great way to start building roster. Just start filling in pieces little by little by little. Now, obviously, they don't have to be great, but just start filling in little by little by little. So, Brendan, your thoughts on their free agency? Yeah. It's not like this roster is like, okay, we signed you guys, we expect you to win the division. No, we just have to be better than 4-13 to show the staff and to show ownership we're getting better. We're improving. Whether that's by a game or two, but we're improving. So it's nothing bad. I like this. I like this free agency draft class for Arizona. Like I said, especially I think it I think it feels weird that I'm sure there has to be some sort of relief. Like this is how messed up it is. I think there's some sort of relief that Marquise Brown is gone. There has to be some because you know he wasn't anybody in Baltimore. And then when he got to Arizona, he wanted to be like, "Don't worry, DeAndre, you're not even going to remember him. I got you guys." And I totally forgot he was there. Yeah, they didn't even try to think about it. Like, don't you guys at least want to talk about an extension? I mean, nah. I'll tell you what. If you survive, the free agencies, then we'll call you back. We're not calling him back, right? No, 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 no. That's just something we have to do to stay face, motherfuckers. Like, understand that's. But overall, that's just business talk. That's just how it is. But overall, you know, and this is just me looking from the outside in. I think Eric really bad. Like, I mean, like number one pick bad. Now, obviously, yeah, you did. But the way I looked at Arizona, I'm like, okay, no Kyler Murray. You have no talent on offense. You have no talent on defense. Yeah, you're probably gonna finish last, bro. Like you're gonna perception wise, you're probably gonna finish dead last. So, but I think it was kind of weird because I find it a weird season for Arizona because nothing changed. Like the needle didn't really move for Arizona. Like they're still stuck in this limbo of we're bad, but we're also competitive. So we just don't know how to win yet, but we're like really close, but we don't know what to do. Like we'll be competitive for 60 minutes. We just don't know how to win. We just don't know how to finish out games. We just are not healthy enough. So I think that's why I find it weird when I think about Arizona because I'm like, they play tough. We've seen it, but they don't know how to close it out sometimes. And it's like, okay, like there was a few games where I'm like, they can win this, and then it's like, no, they can't. No, they're not there yet. I think I think when Arizona, I think people want to say, well, that just showed that Philly was not ready. No, I just think that showed is that I think the players for Arizona is buying in, and that's the thing, right? I think Arizona is. I think the players in Arizona are buying into what John and what Coach Gannon is saying. It's just, well, how do we translate that to wins? Well, you got to draft well. I mean, you don't have to look very far. Look at Detroit. The players brought in to what Dan Campbell was saying. They've been drafting well, and now they're a good football team. So that could be Arizona, but we're looking like 2-3 years from now. But we like what we're seeing because, well, the players are buying in. Does that make sense? Like, do I make any sense at all? Or oh no, I mean with Detroit, it's like, listen, man, you drafted Aiden Hutchinson. You got okay, fine. Listen, you drafted Penny Sewell. You were gifted Aiden Hutchinson. You drafted Jack Campbell and Jameer Gibbs after they told you those were terrible first round picks, and they worked out great. You had this. You drafted Dion. You drafted Branch. You drafted Sam Laporta. You drafted Jonah Jackson, well, who's no longer there, but he actually helped out on that offensive line. You did everything right. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown in the fourth fucking round. Like, what are we? Like, the only thing that would have been unfair is instead of like Williamson, they would have drafted Tyler Linderbaum that year. Like, that would have been like, okay, so how do you want to play this now? Like, how do you want to do this? Like, okay, like, come on, And I get it. Glasgow would have been there, but it's like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, we could just mess around now with our offensive line. We're good, but understand that it is going to take a minute for Arizona. It is going to take a minute, but I truly believe that the players have bought in. I think Kyler Murray, I think most importantly, though, I think Kyler Murray has a coach that, one, believes in him, and two, he wants to play for. Like, he wants to make it work. Because he knows if it doesn't work here, then that's it. He's a career backup for the rest of his life. And from the way he interacts with them, I think I saw more interaction with Jonathan Gannon in 8 games than he ever had with Cliff Kingsbury in like 3 seasons. Oh yeah, all that wonderful hippie ki shit. Whatever, man. Look, for me, I like what Arizona's doing. And what I like too is that they have the draft picks to do it. Now, what's crappy is that the draft pick for Houston is not till later. Hey, so shit happens. But listen, it's still a first rounder. Like, you know, you got to do what you got to do, right? Like, you got to, like, if somebody's going to swing you a deal like that, you got to do what you got to do. You have to take it. Oh man. I cannot. It's just, oh, that's terrible. Like, Chicago lucked out by going 1-9. They have to wait till like the 20s to get their other first round pick. It's like, oh crap. But it happens. But you know what? It's still a first rounder, and somebody could be there to really turn the team around. Overall, I like what Arizona's doing. Like I said, and I know it's going to sound weird. I think the players bought in. I know the record doesn't show it, but I think they're going to play tough, and I think they're going to continue to play tough because, one, I think they got rid of a problem. 2, they're trying to get younger, which is exactly the right thing to do. I just think you already got the most important piece figured out. It is Kyler Murray. Now, he has to improve on his game as well. But, like, it's not going to be a turnaround. If Cardinal fans are expecting to go from, like, 4 to, like, 27, nah, man, that's not what that's not what you're looking like. That's not going to happen. But what can happen, you could probably finish 3rd. Maybe with a little luck, you can just miss the playoffs. And then, you'll know that you're building it right. So, I don't know. I like it. Brandon, any last words before we go into our picks? No. Remember, they were 31st in defense categories in the whole defensive staff for a reason. But that's what Jonathan Gannon was here to do, is to fix it. So, I mean, it's time. So, like I said, it's like the movie Moneyball. When he goes into the locker room on opening day, he goes, I know you don't look like winners. And I know you don't feel like a winning baseball team. But you are one. So make it happen. I bet you every rookie's going to come in. It's like, is this dude really seriously a head coach? And the poor like veteran on that team is going to be like, listen, he did some crazy shit last year too. And he started off just like this. And guess what? We actually played it just a little bit better down the stretch. So just buy into what he's saying. Trust me. I mean, hey, he might be talking out of his ass, but it's working. It's working. So, hi, Chihuahua, man. I mean, like I said, I hope it works out for Arizona. I really do. All right, Brandon. Enough chit chat. It's time. All right. So just to recap, Brandon has Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., and Marvin Harrison Jr. in their respective homes. I have Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Jaden Daniels at their respective homes. As our 1, 2, 3 picks is now time for number 4. Brandon, go ahead. Who do you have going number 4 for the Arizona Cardinals? I'm so scared. Listen, man, that's not a bad person to lose to. So it's a shame that it happened, but it's all good. Yeah, and I think that was very apparent for the FSU game. I was just like, what? I remember the Alabama game. I was thinking to myself, man, this guy's a really natural talent. Like, I mean, hey, now, don't you tell me that Trey McBride, all right? Don't you take snaps away from Trey McBride, all right? You don't get 81 receptions by accident. Well, you kind of do when you're the only responsible target. When you're the only responsible target on the team, I mean, you kind of do. But that's not the point, Brandon. That's not the point. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I like that pick. It's a great pick. You know, you have to give. I hope New England is hearing this. You have to give your quarterback a weapon. Like, are you hearing this, New England? Get your guy a weapon. Anyway, no, I like the mid league neighbors pick. I mean, I think what he does have over Marvin Harrison Jr. A couple things. One, I think he is the better route runner than Marvin Harrison Jr. And I think he knows how to create more separation. But we're talking like a sprackle. Like we're literally talking about a sprackle of like just being that much better. Like it's right there, like there's not a much of a difference, but you could tell like who feels smoother on his route trees, right? Like, and I think Malik Neighbors would be nice here because you can essentially put him anywhere. You could put him at the 1, the 2, the slot. He's an excellent punt returner. He's an excellent kick returner. He's got the speed to do all that. He's got the vision. So you get yourself an all-around athlete at wide receiver. And yeah, I mean, is it possible that he could break a record? Sure. I mean, I'm not going to hold him to it because, I mean, it is fucking Arizona. So, I mean, it's not like, it's again, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time depending on the offensive line situation. I don't know. I don't know what we're looking at here. But I do like the pick. I have no problem with the pick. I would be happy for him, honestly. I would be happy for Malik Neighbors, and it's kind of sad because it's like, why would you be happy? He's going to a shitty situation because I think he would build with Kyler Murray to get something going. So right away. So that's a good pickup. All right. So here we go. Number 4 for me. with the fourth pick in this year's NFL draft, I believe that the Arizona Cardinals will select Marvin Harrison Jr., the wide receiver from Ohio State. Look, man, it's literally one or the other. Like for Arizona, it really is one or the other. Like, listen, bro, you either get 1A or you get 1B. Either way, you're getting a good guy. Okay, you're getting a good wide receiver. Now with Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously that comes a little bit more pressure because it is, what we like to call a legacy pick, right? Like that's what it is. So people, which is stupid, but a lot of people would automatically want him to be a Hall of Famer like his father, Marvin Harrison. Listen, Marvin Harrison wasn't even supposed to be Marvin Harrison. Okay. Let's chill out for a little bit. Like, let's chill out for a couple minutes here. But I will say this, when you talk about Marvin Harrison Jr., what's not like to like, right? He's your classic height, weight, speed guy. 6'4", 205, can really run. So he's your classic height, weight, speed guy, which is something that but he actually has hands. Unlike the receiver we drafted that had height, weight, speed, and had bricks for hands, So there's a difference, Al. There's a difference. I know you're dead and rest in peace, but damn it, Al. Damn it. Damn it, Al. Michael Crabtree was right there. No, don't worry. Only one of the best college receivers in college football history. And you said, nah. Fucking A, man. Man, fuck you. Man, fuck you. All right. I can be mad all I want. All right. But really, let's get into it. As far as his, like you mentioned, his accolades, right? As far as his accolades, right? As you mentioned, he did win the Fred Biletnikoff Award. As you could tell, I just had like a terrible flashback right now. Like, terrible flashback. Darius Henry is probably chilling in his front porch, and it's like I'm like chilling in the front porch with like a chair or something, and one of the legs just fell, and he goes, "Man, this motherfucker's still mad at me. Shit, this motherfucker's still mad at me. Shit." But let's go over it. He, as you mentioned, he did win the Fred Biletnikoff Award for best receiver in the country. Obviously, there's no question about it. Unanimous, two-time unanimous All-American. He was the Chicago Tribune Silver Football Star or Football Player of the Year, the Graham George Offensive Player of the Year, which is given to the best Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, the two-time Rector Howard Receiver of the Year, meaning he was the best receiver in the Big Ten, which gives you, the reason why he won the Fred Biletnikoff Award, and then two-time first-team Big All-10, 22 and 23. So, finished the year with 67 receptions, 1,211 yards, and 14 touchdowns. Now, here's the issue, though. Obviously, there always has to be drama in the draft, right? There always has to be some sort of drama in the draft. I cannot draft Marvin Harrison Jr. that high only because he didn't want to be there for the bowl game. He didn't want to participate in the combine, and he didn't want to participate in his pro day. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, all you guys right now who is talking nonsense like that, his farthest he will go. We were, prior to Justin Fields getting traded, there was drafts out there where he was number one. Now that Justin Fields is gone, Arizona or the Chargers, he doesn't need the bowl game. He doesn't need the combine. He doesn't need pro day because guess what? Those 2 years that you have on film should tell you plenty enough that he can play in the NFL. Like, oh, I just gave up Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and what did they give me? Marvin Harrison Jr. Thank you, Jesus. So again, for all the people out there saying, I would have drafted him because he skipped out of the bowl game and he didn't do the combine and he's not participating in the pro day. What kind of a teammate is that? You don't want to shut the fuck up. Like, bro, you know he's going top 10, right? Like, regardless. I get it. Was there an injury scare at the end of the year for him? Yeah. But you know what? If he was playing hurt all year and he still ended up winning, again, the Fred Biletnikoff Award, still put up 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns injured, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine taking him to be an NFL wide receiver. God, if he's hurt and he's doing 18, what the hell does he look like when he's healthy? 21? Because if he's hurt now, what does he look like when he's healthy? That's the scary fucking thing. If that's the case, no, I'm being serious here. I'm being serious here. Every year we do the draft, and every year, Brandon, I always appreciate you coming on and everything, doing this shit. But every year, I gotta hear. There's always got to be something. There's always got to be something. Like today, Caleb Williams didn't want to acknowledge Keenan Allen for being at his pro day. Oh, Caleb Williams. No, he just doesn't know if he's going to be in Chicago. He's just saying. So he doesn't know. He doesn't want to get friendly with him. It's cool that he says hi, but if he doesn't want to build that relationship because he doesn't know if he's going to go to Chicago. Or, I don't know, I don't know how I feel about Michael Penix's injury, but, he throws the ball, harder and faster than anyone. But J.J. McCarthy, for the last 4 years, all he's done is turn around and gave it to Blake Corum. But I have more faith in him being a better quarterback. Just stop. Stop. I'm tired. Every year, I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing people. I don't know. He didn't do his pro day today. I don't feel comfortable him being a locker room leader. And dude, shut the fuck up. Prior to this, you would have drafted him in a heartbeat. Now, because he didn't do a pro day, I don't know what to tell you, man. If you want to pass on him, let him fall to 13. So I can pair him up with fucking Devontae Adams. That way, either Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell can just be like, fuck it. Devontae or Marvin Harrison Jr. is there somewhere. Someone's out there. Somebody's down there. It's just, yeah, I'm good. Every year we deal with this. Every year with this, man. And I'm tired of it. I am tired of this. And I know there's going to be people that are going to watch this episode. Well, you got on Caleb Williams a couple days ago. Yeah, I got on Caleb Williams because of his play, and that was about it. I'm never was going to, that's all I'm judging him on. You guys are going full blown. He shouldn't even be drafted in the first because, really? Because he missed the pro day and the combine? Yeah, okay, sure. People got on CJ Stroud last year because people were calling the Houston Texans draft pick last year so dumb because he scored in the history of the S2 test the lowest, and yet he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. People, you got to stop doing this to yourself. You have to stop doing this to yourself, people, because one, it makes you look dumb. That's the first thing. Two, if you feel like you are a top 5 pick, which he already was, here's the crazy thing. You want to know the crazy thing? Him and the offensive tackle were on the same boat last year. They would have came out, and guess what? They probably would have been the first players at their position to get drafted. They wouldn't have waited 21, 22, like a Jordan Addison, like a Quentin Johnson. They would have been drafted earlier. But yet they decided to go back. And guess what? A year later, the kid from Penn State, the kid from Notre Dame, and Marvin Harrison Jr. have the chance to be picked first at their respective position. So what does that tell you? Maybe they don't need the NFL. Maybe the NFL needs them. How about that? How about that? For all you motherfuckers out there saying that I wouldn't touch him in the first round because he missed a pro day. What do you want to know? What do you want to know about him? Do you know how many times? Like, do you understand? Like, he has more chance of getting hurt running the 40 than anything. So maybe he's just focused on, listen, I know I'm good. I just need to know what team I have to go on so that way I can learn their playbook. Do it in Green Bay, Wisconsin, in Lambeau Field, where it's blizzard. It is not snow, it is blizzards. And you have to try to throw a football. Do it in that condition. And here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. I'm glad you said that. If he falls, right? Okay, so like you said, could New England take a wide receiver? Hell yeah. Arizona, I have a pegged right here. Could the Chargers use a wide receiver? Yeah, because their only wide receivers are fifth round wide receiver and an undrafted wide receiver. They can use some wide receiver help. Could the Giants use Marvin Harrison Jr. services? Yeah. Could the Titans use Marvin Harrison Jr. services? Yeah. Could the Falcons? And I get it. The Falcons have Kyle Pitts and Drake London. But they can use Marvin Harrison Jr. services. Chicago's back on 9. Could they use Marvin Harrison's services? Yeah. The Jets are at 10. Are they really comfortable with Garrett Wilson, or do you want to pair him up with Marvin Harrison Jr.? Sure. Justin Jefferson at 11? You don't know. That contract situation is getting uglier by the day. Do you want a replacement just in case? Denver just traded away every receiver they possibly had and kept nobody. I'm sure they can use Marvin Harrison Jr. services. They kept Tim Patrick, back-to-back ACL injuries, and I think they even gave him a raise. The Raiders are at 13. Devontae Adams can't play forever. Don't you want your future? What I'm trying to say is it's not happening, folks. I don't know if Champagne is trying to get fired or not, but he's doing a good job to prove to me otherwise. He's doing a great job, man. That's what we're doing. We're just giving him a raise. That's what we're doing. Good for him. Good for him. All right. What I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say. Anybody out there that believes that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to fall out of the first round or out of the top 10, get over yourself, man. Get over yourself, man. Like, they have Jacoby Brissett and Bailey Zappi as their quarterbacks, and they're like, you know what? I think they just still need a weapon, man. It is. It truly is crazy. It truly is crazy. Anybody that believes that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to fall, I will go on record. If Marvin Harrison Jr. falls out of the top 10, if he falls out of the top 10, I will eat a piece of dog shit on this channel, on YouTube Live. I will eat a piece of dog shit. The only way he falls out of the top 10, he gets seriously hurt, which obviously he's not doing. He's just chilling. He's just practicing football. He's just working out on his own. Or he dies. God forbid he dies. Like, illegal. Barring those three, he's fine. Oh no, Marvin Harrison Jr. went 3 or 4. Oh no, I can't believe it. Why would they do that? Who would have thought he would have got 3 or 4 or 5? Oh my God. Come on. Come on, man. Come on, man. Be real with yourself. Be real. Oh my God. Anyway, just to recap, because we went off the rails for a little bit. Brandon has Malik Neighbors here at number 4. I have Mr. Marvin Harrison Jr. here at 4. So we got a receiver. So we we're finally getting something. Well, I mean, we're gonna get there together. I mean, I can guarantee you our picks tomorrow are not gonna be the same. I can guarantee you that. So, but I mean, that's just how it is. I don't know if we're gonna get one pick right this year, like together. I don't. Usually we get at least 1 or 2. I don't think we're gonna hit any this year. I doubt it. I mean, maybe. I mean, I think there's a better chance we get one like at the end, like from the 20. It's entertaining. I think it's going to be fine. But yeah, that'll do it today for Arizona. Tomorrow we have The new Los Angeles Chargers, they are on the clock. Um, Jim Harbaugh is the new head coach. So one of two things could happen, right? Either the Chargers get really, really good, really, really fast, or Justin Herbert is just his career just got wasted. Like, whoa. Like, hey, look, man, you're going to be one of the all-time, like, you're a great quarterback, man. You did some really good stuff. It's just the franchise you were with. Dan Fouts, Phillip Rivers, all the same. Drew Brees, all the same, brother. All the talent in the world. And you can't get it right. Like, how do you think he feels right now? Like, so let me get this straight. You took away 57% of my passing yards to free agency. You traded, cut, and let for one to go away free. 57% of my yards is now on other teams. But we still got Palmer, the wide receiver from Tennessee. I don't care. I don't care. You know, like, it's really crazy. There was a graph that it's like the man really did end up with only like 200 receiving yards the whole year. And everybody else was like, bang, 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 bang. And I'm just like, oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Tank Dell had a better year than him. And he wasn't even supposed to be a factor in Houston this year. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just, yeah. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be an interesting show because, believe it or not, I think the Chargers need a little bit of help here. They really do. And like Washington, I think they played their hand in what I think they're going to draft. So it's just, I mean, I could be wrong. I can't wait to see what you think tomorrow. But, it's just, you know, Chargers. You always make it fun for me, man. But it's coming out the way I want it. Because if everything works out the way I think it's going to work out, I'm going to be pretty happy at 13 this year. Pretty happy. So, we shall see. We shall see. But Brandon, as always, thank you so much for joining, my man. I will talk to you tomorrow. Everybody that tuned in today, whether it was on YouTube or Instagram Live, thank you so much. We will be back here tomorrow. The Chargers are officially on the clock. Let's see what kind of noise they have tomorrow. They had the biggest noise of hiring Jim Harbaugh. Let's see if Jim Harbaugh actually learned a thing or two, stepping away from the NFL. You know, it has been a really long time since, like, it's been a long time. Almost 10. Yeah, damn near. Yeah. Wow. So we'll see. We'll see. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. But until then, Brandon, as always, my man, you have a wonderful night. Everybody, please have a wonderful night. Please be safe. We are almost to the weekend, guys. So just keep it calm. We'll, just be good. Until then, Brandon, I shall